Hi, and welcome to Nikken, Taste of Nikken, a bit of Nikken. I'm Barbara Richmond, and I'm calling in from Florida. We have Hattie Jane in Virginia, Dee in Chicago, and Barbara up in Canada. How great is that? Don't you love technology? So today we're going to talk a little bit, I will be talking a little bit about the water and some of our amazing technologies that we have. From current slide. There we go. Yay. Awesome. Okay, active wellness and the Nikken Wellness Home. I will get really smooth on that, but you guys might want to mute while I'm doing this. Okay. Oh. Okay, so we know today, and stress is the common denominator of a lot of things with our body. Heart disease, diabetes, fatigue, all these things are common denominators. If we can reduce our stress, we can reduce this whole, well, all these issues, right? If we can increase our sleep, we can also increase our immune functions, our rejuvenation, recuperation. So we just know that there's issues that people have with sleep, air, and water. And that is things that we can tweak and build on to make our house and our home better, because as if we can reduce our stress, then all the better, right? I know that I had trouble sleeping when I first got involved in Nikken, and it was related to my back. And every time I suffered with a bad back for 4.5 years. And when I rolled over or tossed and turned, it would stab me and wake me up. So it was a little bit challenging, and I didn't know that I was sleep deprived. I didn't know that all the symptoms that were creeping up of fatigue and having lack of energy and brain fog and all these things came or could culminate from a poor night's sleep. So obesity and our health trends. We just got to make our children aware. This is the first time in history that we have our children, we are going to outlive our children. And we've got to wake up. We've got to get time in there to show them that we need to get outside. We need to exercise. We need to eat better. We need to make healthy choices. We need to drink water. Water's not a drink of choice. It's actually a necessity. It's not something just let me have this option or that option. No, drink your water, and then later if you want to have tea or something, you can do that. But it needs to be consistent on a daily basis. So we have to educate our children. And what's the answer? Be healthy by choice, not by chance, and to choose active wellness. Wellness home is what we talk about in Nikken, our healthy life, our environment. All this can be enhancing who you are. And I love this because this explains it better to me by showing a greenhouse. Because what a greenhouse does to a plant, it does to a Nikken home does to our bodies. If we can get the right environment to sleep, the right environment for water, for air, for good nutrition, all of these things are supporting us on a daily basis to have the best healthy body that we can be, so that we can have the healthy mind that we are, and be the best that we can be. So anytime you see the word pack in Nikken, you are going to save money. And this is our sleep pack, and it's a topper, and we have the base, the comforter, and the pillow. Pretty amazing. It does have the contoured core in there that have magnetics in there to support your neck. So I make a nice little gully for your head to support your neck all night long. It's just got serrated latex in there, so no dust mite can live in this. It's an amazing environment, and you can detox and rejuvenate all night long. Pretty amazing. I do like to add the eye mask to that. PyMag water pack. Again, the packs you save money. Pure alkaline magnetized water. Amazing. What I love to say about this is it's the structure of the water. So basically, and we can always get you reports, but it takes everything out, and then we put back in trace minerals, calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, all these natural elements go back in, and you can see the bottom of the filter has the ceramics in there, and then even a brown layer, and the layer is zeolite and things that we no longer get from the earth. Pretty amazing, actually. And being alkalinized. You hear that's kind of a buzzword these days, alkaline this, alkaline that. Well, it's true. We have a tendency to run high acidic with the things that we eat and what we do. So this helps us with the alkalinity dump the toxins. So a negative and a negative can't bond, but a negative and a positive. So an acidic and an alkaline can bond together and then flush this out. So pretty amazing that we can feel better, we can have more energy and vitality. It's amazing, and it's just amazing water, and it's lighter. I get a glass bottle and I travel around with it. Just phenomenal. Now the shower system is not potable water. It's not something that you would drink. I had a few people after Hurricane Katrina want to be drinking that water. I'm like, no. What it does is it filters the water very quickly, but it bonds the water and it puts air into the water so that and oxygen, so that the particles are either too big for us to absorb, so it's not filtering everything out, but it's actually altering the water, because our skin needs to be acidic, a light acidity, and the oxygen rejuvenates us. So like an apple, when you cut it and it starts to decompress and turn brown and oxidize, you won't get that. You'll start to feel cleaner, your skin will be cleaner, more hydrated, I should say, and oxygenated, so we won't have that rust and rot on our body. We won't, I like to say we all grow old, but we're not going to age, right? We're going to be the best that we can be here. And I just got back from a trip, and I took that bottle with me. It makes the same alkaline water just right at your fingertips. You walk through the security with it empty, and then you fill it up to the line, and you can filter your water. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll get a bottle or bring 2 empty bottles with me, and then I just fill it, and I just filter it through, because as you squeeze it, it's filtering. And that way I know how much I've drunk, and it's a little easier when you're traveling to drink. But it's amazing, this technology. If you want to keep it really high alkaline, you can change the filter 3, 6, 9 months. I think I keep mine about 6 to 9 months. The filter will continue to do really great filtration. It's the alkalinity number that will drop, and it's somewhere between 8.5 and 9.5, depending on the water, obviously, that you put in it, the municipal water, the water that's already been treated. Our municipal water is great because they no longer have bacteria and stuff, but it still has everything in it. It's just bonded with it, killed it, chlorinated it. Now in Florida, we have ammonia in it. They just decided to call it something else. It's called chloramine. It's really a different name for ammonia, because we know what ammonia is. And so I think that, it bonding with that and killing everything is great. Thank God, for, our municipal water. I don't know what I would do without it. But we want to filter everything out. We want to get all that out of there, even the pharmaceuticals and the different things. We want to get all that out of our water, and then put back in like I said, the trace minerals that are just awesome. So let me see here. This is our energy pack, our rest and relaxation comfort pack. This little guy here, the little polka dotted guy, has made such a tremendous bit in my life. It is just in 3 days. Well, I wore it 3 days consecutively. So on the fourth morning when I woke up, I just got up, got out of bed, and was headed to the bathroom. I was like, oh, I'm up. I'm not stiff. I'm not achy. I'm not, moving kind of slow like Uncle Joe at the station. I was really, uh, it transformed my life. I suffered for 4.5 years with a bad back. Now, I am not cured from what I have, but I can say I don't hurt. And if I do start to hurt, I have ways to uh, mend that. We have tape up there. It's not just kinetic tape. It actually has ceramics on it. There's ceramics around the outside of this. And it kind of gives a little warmth to it, a different type of energy. It's the sun's energy that we have. And I wear the tape when I'm traveling. I have the mini in my pocket, and I have the insoles in my shoes, and I got the power bands on. So I've always got them on some way, shape, or another. And I just like to add that, we need magnetics. The Russian cosmonauts, when they first went up into space, they came down and they had all kind of issues. And they thought they had bends. They thought they had different things. They realized that they had magnetic deficiency syndrome. So what they do now is they have magnets in their suits, magnets in their capsule, and they come down and they just go right out to press conferences and different things, and they're fine. So it just shows you that we need it. And like a sponge in a bucket of water, your body takes what it needs, and it doesn't, there's no side effects to the extra. So I keep a little on my hands because I've had an issue with my thumb. But and I wear them around my neck. This happens to be a fancy one, and we come out with different jewelry from time to time. That's really amazing. So this air purifier is HEPA, HULPA. HEPA is what they use in the hospitals and intensive care units and that. They used to use it in the big, remember the big rooms for the computer, the mainframe and all that. Well, they don't need that anymore, but you might remember having to have an air system in there. Well, this is even better than that. So it goes down to the particulates, but it also brings in negative ions and such, which is like you're at a forest or like at the water's edge in the beach. It's pretty amazing there. I did want to underline, see, these are some of our nutraceuticals, all pharmaceutical grade nutrition. And right now, our bone health, the BDZ, is something that I'm just loving to share with everything, as well as the lactoferrin, which is a gut conditioner. And we have organic skincare that's made with marine minerals and nutrition, from the ocean. So just to rejuvenate and to feel good. And, if you're using anything, be careful and read the ingredients, because your skin is it's porous. And if you put something on it, okay, I'm going to say a name, but it's just because it's just so well known, Vaseline Intensive Care has petroleum in it. And you put that on and it's going to feel really good because it's sealing it. No air can get in, no air can get out, no water can get in. You can actually, it just seals it. And then your body has to absorb it and then flush it out through your kidneys, your liver, and all the things, all that chemical that I know if I'm at pumping gas and I'm putting it in my car and I spill it on myself, I got to go wash my hands. I got to go get it off. And that's petroleum. That's oil. That's gasoline. And so just be more aware and tentative of what you do, because if you put on your skin, you've ingested it. If you breathe it in, you ingest it. That aisle in the grocery store where you smell all those fragrances and chemicals, that's got to go get processed through your kidneys, your liver, and everything. And it's amazing how many people have become sensitive to smells and perfumes and such. So there's a way of saving money, and it's amazing. I said that with the packs, but I did want to underline the water, and that is tremendous for us to have. We're over 70% water. Actually our brain is close to 80-something% water. I'm not giving you the second number because I don't want to be misquoted on that. It's like 83 and then 70 something for your body. But at least a little over 80 for your brain and a little over 70 for your body. We need that. And if you don't get it, it's going to take it from other places. You know, I tell people when they have a headache to first go get a glass of water, hopefully a Nikken. Pi water means living water. So living water, and drink that glass of water while you're looking for the aspirin or whatever you do for your headache to take, or a pill, because it might just be that you need to be hydrated. And that's just amazing, I think. And make sure that you get your glasses of water in, because you just don't know what you're preventing by doing that. And if you don't, then your body's got to go other places to get it. So here we go. Here are the packs again. I think I'm going to open it up for one of you to share about water. Okay? Just really quickly. Who would like to share about the water?
I can. Can you hear me? Oops, I can't hear you now, Barbara. Anyway, I'll just talk, because if you can hear me. I love the water. When I was first introduced to it, somebody had me drink a glass of my tap water and then drink a little bit of the Mag water, and I could not believe the difference in the taste, in the smoothness, all of that. And then as I've learned more about how wonderful this Mag water is and why, it's, you know, we become water snobs because we know how good it is for us and what it does for our body. And I guess I keep thinking about the older folks too. I mean, we all need it. Certainly kids need it instead of pop or fruit juices that are loaded with sugar and all of that. But I think about some of the older folks who often are on lots of medications. They don't want to drink water because they don't want to be running to the bathroom all the time and all. And yet when we think of how dependent all our body systems are to be hydrated to function well, including our brains, when they may be having issues, cognitive issues and everything else, I sometimes wonder, what if they were really well hydrated? Would that improve for them? So that's just a little bit of a question in my mind for all of us, but certainly our older population as well.
I had a gentleman who had a very large lesion on his tongue, and he'd had 2 previous surgeries and was facing a third. My hubby and I tested their water, and it was like pure acid, to the point where we didn't believe the results, and we took their water to a pool and spa place and had them test it. And they came out and they said they'd never seen such acidic water. Immediately drained the spa or the swimming pool, whatever the source was of the water. We hadn't told them that it was this couple's well water, drinking water. We got this gentleman started immediately on the pie water and jade greens. He didn't like the taste of jade greens, so he mixed it in his peanut butter and put it on his toast and took it religiously every day. But 3 weeks later, he had to go into the surgeon to have his preoperative examination and blood work done for surgery 2 days later. And the surgeon said to him, "I don't know what you're doing, Jack, but keep doing it. We're going to cancel your surgery." The gentleman also had a condition on his scalp that looked like a serious dose of cradle cap, and he had become antisocial because of embarrassment when flakes would drop on his shoulders. I recommended the shower head. I said, I don't know if it's going to make a difference or not, but they had related that they had spent thousands of dollars on lotions and potions and pills and so forth over the years to try and clear up this condition on his scalp. They got the shower head. 2 days later, the scalp condition cleared up, never to come back. He had been reacting to the municipal chemicals all these years in the shower water. He liked to shower daily, and he never again had another issue. He was a very sociable man, loved to be out and about, and he was able to resume his activity. And as a senior citizen, it's so important that they're able to socialize so that they don't become lonely or depressed. Anyhow, this gentleman just passed away this year at the ripe old age of 87, but he had gone 16 years without requiring that surgery on his tongue. They talked up the water to their friends. She had 2 lesions on her cheek, and the surgeon said, let's look after his tongue first, and then we'll address your 2 lesions. We know they're not melanoma, so we're not, it's not an emergency. She followed the same regimen for herself that we had set out for her husband, and she never did have to have those lesions removed. So I can't stress enough the power of our PIMAG water in promoting optimal health and reducing the acidity within the system, because we know acidity allows any disease to set up housekeeping internally, and we want to reduce that possibility. So yeah, they had great success, and she's still drinking the Pi water. She spends her winters now in El Centro, California, and she ordered a water system to be shipped to the place that they rent down there so that she's never without it.
That's awesome. That's great. Wow. What a great success story there. I just love that. And it's never ceasing. I just love to hear what's happening with people and what's going on, because there's so many things that we can prevent. And I love that, because like I said, we are aging, all of us, but we don't need to get old. We don't need to get old, and we don't need to have all these ailments and things that happen. I want to have all my agility and all my vitality as best as I can be. Anybody else want to share quickly? And then I'll stop this recording so we can get it out and send it out to those. I know I have a few people in mind that are looking at the waterfall. And we call it a waterfall because it does mimic Mother Nature. As the air and the water and all those nutrients hit the bottom of the waterfall, it's just rejuvenating and replenishing and putting back then all those trace minerals. We got rocks in there that help keep the tank pristine and from anything growing in the tank. And the tank, the plastic's the same plastic as a petri dish plastic, so nothing can grow in there. I do recommend you wipe it out. Well, I tell people 3-4 times a year, so they'll do it twice a year. But wipe it out, and when you're putting your new filter in, and just give it a wipe off. But it's amazing how great and portable it is. I actually let it go down to hardly any water in it. I seatbelt it in, so if you're taking a trip and you want to have it with you, it's a great thing. All righty, guys.
We did an experiment at our bed and breakfast. We had guests that were curious about the water, and they asked to do an experiment. We set up 5 bowls of water, 5 identical bowls with 5 different water sources. And they tracked it for one entire afternoon. There were 3 couples. And as long as the Pi water was available, the animals drank that 100% of the time. If you removed the Pi water, they drank the pond water. And the guest said, why would that be? And I said, because it most replicates the properties of the PIMAG waterfall. Same principles. It's being bombarded by the sun, the wind. It's going over stones and picking up the essential minerals. And they drank the pond water when the Pi water wasn't available. As soon as they put the Pi water back down, the animals, 3 cats and 2 dogs, went to the Pi water 100% of the time. They said if they hadn't seen it with their own eyes, they wouldn't have believed it. So my animals do not drink tap water. The dog will occasionally drink a puddle of water when we're walking, but I cook with it. They get the water, and I have the water with me 100% of the time.
And I also take my vegetables and soak them in the PIMAG water, and then I'll water my plants with that. Or I cut the lettuce and just hydrate my lettuce. And my romaine lasts for a good week or so, you know, in my fridge. I wrap it, but I hydrate it for a good afternoon. And so you can save on that and help and I had some celery that was going kind of wimpy, and I just cut the bottoms off, stuck it in the water, and it all just came right back up, ready for, you know, being eaten. So you can save on that too. So here we go. So you can become a customer and get with the person that invited you, please. It's the best way because they can service you, they can answer your questions and help you in any way, shape, or form, no matter where they are. The customer, the person that shared Nikken with you is, it's possibly their livelihood. So I just say that. Discover it, live it, share it. So get with the person that invited you. You can become a part-time entrepreneur, meaning collaborative entrepreneur. You can actually do it to raise a little money and get some more things or share with people. It's pretty amazing, and have a tax write-off as well. Or become a full-time entrepreneur. All this is possible and probable as Nikken's going into its 45th year worldwide. All right, thanks. And again, get with the person that invited you. And this, I am an independent Nikken consultant. And so I don't make any medical claims at all. Thank you. Bye.